G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, it's been a little while since I've done any metal work videos. I've been working on the workshop. Got some jobs to do around the place on the house and the workshop. And you can see that all this brick paving I've put down. I replaced the concrete that was there. And the big sliding doors used to run in some grooves, some tracks that were cemented in, and they all got clogged up and rusted out, and I had to chop them all out. And luckily I used that big jackhammer that I got from Vivor, which was absolutely fantastic for this job. Chopped out about a good half a ton of cement, reinforced cement, and then I replaced it all with these brick pavers. Similar amount, about half a ton. There's 120 pavers there, and I had to cut 60 of them. So I used a diamond bladed disc in my circular saw, hand circular saw, and I cut them that way. Did a great job, no problem. So that's what I've been doing. Right, so prior to that I also worked on this, the melting furnace. I showed you that a while back. The perlite and cement mix had, the refractory mortar mix had started to crumble. And I was going to line it with some ceramic blanket, which I did buy, fairly cheaply actually, off of eBay. Then I thought, I'll give it one more go. I chopped out all the loose stuff, and I've redone it all with playpen sand and refractory mortar, 50-50 mix, and that's come up really rock hard. So today I'm going to try it out and fire it up and melt some brass, see if it does the job. If it doesn't, if it starts to crumble, well, I'll cut it out and I'll put in a refractory ceramic blanket. Use that, so there's plenty of options. But anyway, it's pretty good. I also, once I'd done it, I then coated it with some black stove putty. I'll show you what I used. It's on the bench. So this is the high temperature mortar I've mixed with sand to line it, you know, sort of rebuild it. And after I did that, I then went over it with this black stove putty, which is very high temperature. It goes up to 1400 C. I saw somebody had used this before and said it worked well. So that is like the surface finish that's basically going to seal the whole thing. So you've got 3 layers basically. So we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck. This is what I'll be melting. It's just dregs, odds and sods of brass. And I've got some old brass, well, silver plated brass here, which was somebody's old trophy tray they threw out in the street. Once again, all brass. And yeah, we'll melt all that down. I'll have to get it going and stick this in later so it'll all fit in, but we'll fit in what we can anyway. Yeah. Let's do it. Well, the sand and refractory mortar mix, that stood up pretty well, but the putty was a waste of time. That just chips off. So I mean, I bet somebody said, "Oh, this is good stuff," but it didn't bond. Even that, there's a bit of flakiness there. So don't worry about the putty. I don't think she's any good, really. It's pretty ordinary. That's the lid anyway. Doesn't look so bad on the bottom. Oh shit. Whoops. Well, there you have it, the Davco Lenco 156 high temperature mortar. It worked as well with the sand as I think it did with the perlite. Probably worked better with the sand because I had a much higher mix ratio of this stuff to the filler. So we went 50-50 with this, whereas before we didn't. It was less. It's going to do the same job. It'll stand up for quite a long time, but eventually it's going to crumble and fall out. The black patch stove putty, which I had got through Woolies. They had to get it down from the manufacturer in Queensland, I think it was. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't any good. It's no good for this application. It might be okay for stoves, putting it in cracks there, but it's no good for this sort of thing. It was just temperature difference. You can see there was a temperature difference the way it sheared. So despite what I'd read and what this guy had said, you know, using it in this application, nah, it just doesn't do the job. Once again, it just reinforces what I've thought for a long time, that there's a lot of bullshit out on the internet. The only way you find out whether any of this stuff works is to try it yourself, you know. But anyway, we've been there, done that, no good. The next time around I'll use the ceramic blanket. I've got some of that ready to go. And I've got this wire cage I'm going to use to hold it in position. So I'll put the ceramic blanket in the base, and then push in the wire cage to keep it in place. And I may line it with something to keep the flame off of the actual ceramic blanket itself, which is what they recommend. We'll see. So there's plenty of things we can still do, and I'm not, you know, that upset about it. It didn't cost much at all, really. It was a low cost thing, even with the putty. It wasn't much. And yeah, at the end of the day, we got a nice chunk of brass, which I poured in a tin can, which I haven't done before with brass. I've done it plenty of times with aluminium. So maybe in the next video I might take it out of the can and turn it up and see if it's any good. I did it in the can because I wanted some bigger stuff to make flywheels, you know, for model engines. So yeah, there you go. You don't know till you try this stuff. And once again, don't believe everything you read or see on the internet. Alright, that's it from me. Hope you got something out of it. See you next time, guys. Cheers.